Big Junior is just starting to show up in daylight, and I have a very good idea where he is spending most of his time. I'm starting to feel good about my chances. 6:30. You think you have time when hunting a buck, especially early in the season. The last thing I expected after that weekend cold front was to get an email from my neighbor telling me that he had shot the buck during Iowa's early muzzleloader season. I've learned that nocturnal bucks often make their first daylight appearance of the season with the passing of an October cold front. I should have trusted my experience and been out there hunting him anyway. Like I said, I thought I had plenty of time. Had I known this, I might have been a bit more aggressive. I might have been out there on Saturday when Big Junior walked past my redneck blind an hour before sunset. I'd staked my season on that buck. I'd hunted him for 3 years. Somehow I felt like I deserved to shoot him. Now, thoroughly deflated, I had to go back to square one. What other bucks might inspire big dreams? That is the question I now had to answer. While I'm starting the process of finding a new buck to hunt, Aaron is sneaking into his public land spot to pull cards from his cameras with the hope that the recent cold front has triggered his own giant buck to start moving in daylight.
There's a buck. Pretty good buck, too. It's not a deer that we have pictures of either. There he is. Oh my, he's bigger than I thought. He's a lot bigger. He's really, really big. That's 8:20 at night. He's getting out of his bed right after dark. And he's either going off that side of the bedding area and out to the fields, which is why we're not getting him all the time. And that's probably the way that he's actually coming back in, because we don't have any pictures of him coming up the crossing and in there. All they are is just coming straight down it. But he's walking right in front of that stand, right in front of it. The main reason I put this camera back in here on this crossing was to hopefully get this Clyde buck, and it did work out, and he's on there a couple different times. The pictures are really blurry, but you can definitely tell it's him. The only pictures we're getting of him are at night, and so he's moving close to daylight, but Clyde's definitely one of our main targets. We're probably going to get out of here, and we'll be back in here in a week and a half, hopefully hunting.
I've decided that my best chance for October success lies with the no-name 10-pointer. He is the only other mature buck that I know of on the farm that has been showing himself in daylight. The evening of October 24th marks the passing of another cold front. It is the perfect time to make my 4th try for the heavy 10-pointer.
I'm heading back into that same area where I've been hunting this no-name buck. This is my 4th hunt for this deer, and I've got the perfect wind for going in there. We're just going to mix it up a little bit this time. Rather than going all the way down, we're going to stop a little bit short of that. And there's a standing bean food plot back there right next to the cabin with a redneck blind on it. So we're going to sit in that redneck blind and see what's coming out into that food plot, because he could just as easily be popping out into there directly rather than going through that little small opening and coming out into the big ag field. You know, perfect conditions. It's starting to cool down. October 24th, we're getting into that part of the rut now where the bucks are really starting to look for does. And this deer did show some daylight activity here just a short while ago. So I like our odds for getting a look at that buck tonight.
The same cold front that I am hunting has also lured Caleb and Taylor Byers back to the secluded clover field where they have been hunting a buck they nicknamed Minnie.
We obviously came in, saw 2 bucks. We saw that one was just a little basket rack, but we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place right now, kind of stuck on top of this ridge, and the wind's blowing right to him if we try to go down to the blind. So we might just have to wait it out up here and wait for him to stand up. We were on our way in tonight, and Caleb happened to spot 2 bucks down off the path that we were walking in on. We had to wait. We wanted to wait him out just to make sure he wasn't a shooter, and we finally got down to our blind. And the reason we decided to come down to the clover plot tonight, the weather's just awesome today. Nice cool breeze. The pressure's way high, and this has kind of been just a little honey hole for us. We really feel like tonight is our last good opportunity before this early muzzleloader season ends tomorrow. We've been hearing that some early rut action has been going on, so we're kind of hoping to see a little bit of that tonight.
The right underwear is just as important as the right outerwear. Layering is critical to staying warm, and one of the steps that I take every time I go to the tree stand is to put on my Cabela's ECWS thermal underlayer. Keeps you warm even under some of the coldest conditions. One challenge that we face all the time when we're hunting out of blinds is the low light conditions. That's why having a sight with really bright pins, like the Helix from Fuse that I was using on this hunt, makes for a lot more accurate shooting from a ground blind. Hoyt's latest generation of bows are super sweet shooting, and one of the reasons why is the fact that at full draw the limbs go past parallel. So when you release the string, they jump up and down rather than forward, and this cancels their momentum and eliminates all recoil from the shot. The passing front also prompted Jared and Mike to squeeze in a quick afternoon hunt in a new spot on Mike's farm where they must first hang their 2 stands. Despite the ideal conditions, my hunt is going slower than expected, but Caleb and Taylor are starting to see action close to their blind.
Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh my gosh.
As you can see, we're pretty excited. We were sitting here and all of a sudden Caleb goes, there he is. It's Minnie. He's right there. We didn't really give him a lot of time. We're pretty jacked right now.
Oh my gosh. The #1 target deer. Right there.
Jared and Mike were using the ozonics unit on this hunt, and they faced it so that the output was facing downwind. This way the unit pushes ozone over their scent stream as it floats with the wind. The pure trophy clover blend from Frigid Forage that Caleb and Taylor were using in this small food plot was attractive enough that they were able to hold Minnie in that spot. He continued to use that same plot for a matter of weeks until the conditions were perfect for Caleb and Taylor to go back after him.
Muddy lineman's rope is a must-have when you're hanging tree stands. It's not only going to keep you safe and keep you from falling out of the tree, but it also allows you to use both hands while you're hanging your stand. So this is one thing we're never going to leave the truck without, and it makes hanging stands a breeze.
When I'm patterning a specific buck, my strategy involves 2 or 3 different parts. I go about this by putting bait in front of my trail cameras. In this case, the perfect camera would be the Muddy ProCam 10. It has a slightly slower trigger time and doesn't have the field scan features that I use for later stages of my patterning, but it does everything I need and is very affordable for this first part where I need as many cameras out, covering as many areas as I possibly can.
He was big, huh? He's big. Big, mature, big antlers. I wish I could have seen him. By the time I lost sight of him, he had to be in that finger, or right on the other side of the finger. He's coming up. That's much really much. There he is, there he is, there he is. Do you want to shoot him? Here, you shoot him. Let me film. You shoot. Dude, that is him. He's 160. Is it too dark? No, it's fine. Okay, get ready. He's coming. Wait. Okay. Right. Hit him high. That's not good. I should have ranged him. That's a big mature deer we got pictures of a few card pulls ago. We never did name him, but he's just a big mainframe 8 with a kicker off his G2, and unfortunately I had ranged a few spots in the grass right here at 25, and so I was using my top pin. He kind of was angling away, so I thought he got out to 30. I held a little high on him, and I hit him high, so I should have just aimed on the heart. I'm sure it would have hit right where I wanted, but I hit him high. I did not get a lot of penetration, so he ran over the hill there pretty hard. We heard a little crashing. Hopefully that'll work out and we'll have a dead deer, but it's my fault aiming in the wrong spot. I aimed a little high, and of course I hit him high, so, but hopefully it'll work out. So he's definitely a nice deer.
Well, we got him drug up to the food plot. We couldn't have asked for a more exciting hunt. We were just kind of relaxed in the blind, kind of in silence, kind of anticipating what was going to happen tonight. And then all of a sudden Caleb goes, "Oh my gosh, there he is, Taylor, it's Minnie." And we were both shaking, couldn't breathe. We didn't let him stand there for very long before I pulled the trigger on him because we just didn't want to take that risk. And it was definitely a hunt that we won't soon forget. We can't give enough credit to redneck blinds. The deer just get so used to them.
And yeah, that was one big key to success in this hunt was the redneck blind. And last year we had just a regular ground blind put in, and it just felt like the deer always knew when we were here. One thing we noticed, as soon as we put this hay bale blind out, they get used to it way easier. So these deer were, feeding right up to it, not thinking anything of it because it was just, another piece of the farm. So we've hunted this blind 3 times, and all 3 times we've had big bucks come out in the field. So
this is a buck that we have quite a bit of history with. He was a 3-year-old last year, and Caleb actually passed him a couple times during late muzzleloader, so we were pretty positive that he had made it through the season. And we just couldn't wait to get our cameras out and see if we couldn't get a picture of him that summer. So we got him out, couldn't wait for that first card pull, and sure enough, he was the most consistent deer on the farm, and it couldn't have worked out any better.
If their real tree pattern can hide Mike and Jared in this open tree on this still evening, it can work anywhere. Realtree's latest patterns are perfect for tree stand hunting. A lot of bow hunters now use string knocking loops, and that's where the rhino and the silver horn in the Scott line really excel. The hook on these releases is open and it's easy to snag the loop. You don't have to look down. You feel like you're totally in control even when things are moving fast during the moment of truth. Trophy rock minerals play an important role for us in 2 ways. First, they supply the mineral needs of the deer on the properties that we hunt. But just as important to us as hunters is the fact that the deer are very attracted to these sites, which makes them the perfect locations to get summertime trail camera pictures, which helps us to better pattern the bucks and gives us a head start going into the season. As the Byers celebrate their success, I'm putting the wraps on a very slow hunt. Not a single deer showed up on my small bean plot this cool evening, at least not until I exit the blind. Eric is still filming a time-lapse of the red post-sunset sky as I jump back inside.
Well, we screwed that up. I don't know when he came out, but he's standing on the lower end of the field right now. Oh, really? That 10-pointer, yeah. So I don't know how long he was out there. But if we'd have been in the tree stand, we'd have maybe had him.
The buck was 100 yards from the blind, right next to one of my stands. This is the second time he has walked past that stand right at last light. I was in it the first time, and I will be in it again very soon, hoping he will come out just a few minutes earlier. After several hours of searching, Jared and Mike reluctantly accept the fact that Mike did not fatally hit the 8-pointer. The arrow entered high in the shoulder, penetrating only a few inches and causing only a flesh wound. The roller coaster continues. The Byers are up, Jared and Mike are down, and I'm somewhere in between. This is deer hunting. Good days followed by bad. You never know when your entire season will hinge on a single minute-long encounter. The whitetails world is changing now too. Testosterone levels are rising daily, and the bucks are beginning to break with their nocturnal ways. Anticipation is high as we continue chasing November.